Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel Bad Book Thief. Asha here. How have you all been? I have been absolutely fantastic. A bit caught up, yes, because I am in the middle of moving jobs, and then I've got my younger brother's wedding around the corner, and you can imagine what madness a wedding house is like. So yes, absolutely caught up, and hardly finding time to shoot, which is why I have missed posting my videos for the last couple of weeks, for which I really do apologize. But here we are today. Today's video is going to be fairly different, fairly informative, because I am not really going to talk about book reviews, but I am going to talk about one of the topics that I have been asked so many number of times in the past few years. This is how to set reading goals and how to ensure we achieve them. So for all of you guys who've asked me how do I manage reading such massive goals in a year, this is for all of you. Honestly speaking, I find it very flattering when people ask me, how do you manage reading 70, 80 books, sometimes 100 books in a year? If I have to sit back and think about it, I don't know how I do it, but I do have certain patterns that I follow, and those have helped me achieve my goals over the years. I am not somebody who does dedicated Goodreads reading challenges or book club reading challenges, but I do have set goals for myself, personal goals, and I make sure that I achieve those. So whatever these patterns I'm talking about, these patterns have over the time helped me build a healthy, stress-free reading pattern habit, and I'm sure that if you follow them, you'll find them quite helpful as well. Before we get started, I want to request you all to please subscribe to my channel if you haven't done that already. On my channel, I talk about books. So for all of you people who love books, this is the channel for you. And also for those who have just started to love, read books, this is for you too. Reading books can be passion for some, it can be addiction for some, and for some, they've probably just started exploring the world of books. No matter where you come from, no matter what your thought process is, I guess it is very important to build a reading habit, without which you'll, lack the love for it, you'll lack the motivation to be reading. So I feel it is absolutely essential that you set yourself a reading pattern, a reading goal, and make sure that you achieve it. It does not matter if you have about just 5 books to read in a year, or if it's 50 books, but what's important is that you maintain a routine. And in this video, I am going to help you decide what your routine can be like, and how you can read all the books you want to read. I think the first important step to setting a reading goal is forming a habit. Now, how do you form a habit? The first important thing I think you should do is find the right genre for yourself. This can be tricky in the beginning because you need to explore and experiment different genres, especially if you're a beginner. But once you've known what you love, whether that's fiction, whether that's non-fiction, or any other genre within fiction and non-fiction, you can stick by that genre for some time and then experiment some other genres. So finding the right genre is very, very important. If you feel that something is not working, you may not just abandon it right away. Give it some time. If you still feel that it's not working for you, give it some more time. Come back to it with the right frame of mind, and I'm sure that you're going to end up at least liking it, if not loving it. The second thing that I want to talk about is experimenting authors. Once you found what's the genre you want to read, you can go experimenting with different authors. See what kind of authors work for you, what kind of writing works for you. If I love Stephen King or if I love Shirley Jackson, I read their books back to back. That's how you develop a reading habit. The third thing you can do is you can join a reading club. Okay, there are a lot of book clubs online these days. On Instagram, at least I know so many book clubs. I am a part of few. And on Goodreads also, you can join some groups and be a part of book reading clubs. That way you co-read with other readers and you develop a healthy reading pattern. Find the people who you feel are motivating enough to keep you going and stick to that group. The fourth thing that you can do is something which is going to be important in the long run. If you have massive goals like me, where you want to read more than 50 books a year, what you will absolutely have to do is look at different formats of writing. That is something I do. I cannot read novels after novels after novels. I need to space it out. So if I have read a 500-page novel now, once I finish it, I will probably, just go to a short story, or I'll go to a poetry. You can do the same thing with different genres as well. You need to keep changing the formats. You need variation. Only that's how you'll be able to stick to a set reading goal. Otherwise, you're going to be worn out soon enough. The next and very, very important thing I want to talk about is the portal you're reading on. And by that I mean the medium. So nowadays, a lot of us are used to reading on a Kindle or on their phones. But in the long run, what can also help you set a healthy reading habit is changing the medium you're reading on. Sometimes paperbacks just don't work for you. Sometimes Kindle doesn't work for you. For me as a reader, Kindle never works for me. Audiobooks never work for me. And yet what I do is to create some variation. Every now and then I just skip to an audiobook or I skip to a Kindle. So if you change the medium, it surely helps you set up a reading habit. That's as far as the mediums and the portals go. But another very important aspect to this is the location, the setting. Where do you read? It is important that you find the place that gets you to read. Know what I mean? There are places where you sit and enjoy reading, and then there are places where you just don't connect with the book. You have to find which is that corner. Wherever in the world that corner is, you need to find that out. And you need to dedicate time and sit there and read and feel that book. You need to soak yourself in. Only that's how you're going to develop a good reading habit. If a place doesn't work for you, if it feels claustrophobic, or if you feel that you're too distracted in that corner, okay, look for some other place. Look for something cozy. It can be probably somewhere under a tree. It can just be a secluded street. It can be anywhere. The next thing that I want to highlight is something all of us want to do, but not all of us are able to do it, which is setting up a dedicated reading time. If you are somebody who already does that, hats off to you. Myself as a reader, I have never been able to do that. I don't have a dedicated time to read. Some of us love to read before going to bed. Some of us love to read before we rise up in the morning. Or some of us just love to read while they are having their lunch or dinner. I have never been able to adapt to that kind of a pattern or routine. I just need to read whenever I feel like reading. Sometimes I'm just reading when I'm walking down the street. I have the book right in front of me. I would probably read when I'm standing at a grocery store and waiting for my turn at the counter, and I would just read. So that's the kind of person I am, but you need to find out what's the kind of person you are. Where do you like to read and when do you like to read? Set up a routine, set up a dedicated time, an hour, 2 hours, whatever you can spare. If you think that works for you, stick by it. If that doesn't work for you, just pick up the book any time of the day that you want to read and just start. I think the last thing that I want to talk about, which is the most important thing, take a break. Yes, do not read back to back. You'll feel burned out. I feel that all the time because I am an exhaustive reader. I am an addicted reader. So I keep reading books, sometimes 2 books at a time. And there are times when I'm so worn out, I feel so burnt out that I don't read for months at a stretch. Don't let that happen to you. Take a break. Once you finish reading a book, take a break of a day or 2 before picking up the next book. That way you'll be able to set up a reading habit. So that's all, guys. I think I have shared everything I really wanted to share. If I have to summarize this for you, there are really few pointers that I want to talk about. The first one is you need to explore genres. The second one is you need to explore authors. You need to find the right place you feel like reading. You need to see if there is a particular time, an hour that you want to read. Yeah, you need to switch between patterns, and by that I mean formats. You need to switch between mediums, whether you want to read it an audiobook or whether you want to do a paperback. And finally, you need to take a break after you've finished reading a particular book. All these things, when done in a routine, you will find that you are developing a good, sustainable reading habit. And with that, all your reading goals will be met. All these are the only tips that I wanted to share with you guys, because this is something that I've been doing for years now. I do not have any great tips or wisdom to share with you, something that will work overnight. All of this is going to take time, and the only thing that will keep you going is perseverance and patience. If there's anything that I have missed out and that works for you, I'll be happy if you share it in the comment section below. I would definitely love to try that out. That's all, guys. I really wanted to share all of this with you because I love books so much, and I am always eager to help people who come to the page and want to develop a habit. That's all in today's video. I hope you find this video informative, and I just hope that you've watched it till the end, because all of these things I have tried in the past few years, and I'm sure that you'll find them useful too. So if you think that this video was helpful, do share it with your friends and your circles also. You never know who might benefit from it. With that, I'm going to take my leave. You know what you have to do? You have to share this video with your circles. You have to also subscribe to my channel, and you have to meet me in my next video. Until then, be reading, be inspiring.